I was engaged to Mengyao for 5 years. Then she secretly held a wedding with a male college student. When I arrived, they were passionately kissing as the crowd cheered them on. When Mengyao saw me, she arched a brow. Jingnian only wanted a wedding. Don't worry, we didn't register the marriage. Expressionless, I turned and walked away. But she was certain I was only throwing a tantrum. That was until a prominent Beijing socialite posted a photo of her marriage certificate. Ignoring the downpour, Mengyao pounded furiously on my door. When I opened it, the aftermath of passion still lingered on my face. Don't worry, I only registered the marriage. I didn't have a wedding. At the lively wedding venue, the guests below cheered for the newlyweds to kiss. Mengyao, dressed in a wedding gown, had a shy look in her eyes. The college student clasped the back of her head with one hand and slowly deepened the kiss. I stared blankly at the two of them passionately kissing on stage. Menyao's best friend turned and saw me. She shouted in panic, "Brother-in-law." The next second, the lively atmosphere fell completely silent. I walked towards Mengyao. The college student immediately shielded her behind him. Mengyao showed no embarrassment at all at being caught by her fiancé. She teasingly threw herself into the college student's arms and arched a brow. Jingnian was making a fuss about marrying me. Don't worry, we didn't register the marriage. You will be the only man I ever marry. Mengyao and I grew up together as childhood sweethearts. After graduation, our families arranged our engagement. She was famous in our circle for loving to have fun. She changed boyfriends one after another, humiliating me completely. I gave her a faint smile. Then I took a square brocade box from my bag. This was the jade pendant the Su family passed down to their son-in-law. I'm giving it back. Mengyao took it and toyed with it in her hand. She gave a faintly mocking smile. You even brought out the jade pendant this time, just to threaten a breakup. I didn't miss the deep disbelief in her eyes. Mengyao, as of today, our engagement is over. From now on, we will go our separate ways. Mengyao's expression changed instantly. Shiyan, say that again. Seeing things about to get out of hand, her best friend hurriedly stepped forward. Brother-in-law, please calm down. This wedding doesn't count. Susu was only having fun. You're definitely the one she'll truly marry. After witnessing the spectacle of my fiancé marrying another man, I turned and walked away calmly, without a trace of emotion. Susu, hurry and go after brother-in-law, Mengyao said with absolute certainty. Why should I chase him? This isn't the first time something like this has happened. He'll come crawling back in a few days. You never took things this far before. No man could accept the woman he loves marrying someone else. I suggest you go and check on him. Mengyao glanced toward the door. Her dark eyes narrowed slightly. Song Jingnian suddenly tugged at her wedding dress. Can I see that jade pendant? After leaving the wedding venue, I called Chen'an and asked him to meet me for a couple of drinks at a bar. When he arrived and saw the empty bottles of red wine, he immediately understood. What happened? Did you get into another fight with Mengyao? Did she find a celebrity this time? Or another college student? Hearing her name made my heart ache as though it had been pierced by needles. She got married today. After hearing the whole story, Chen'an grabbed a wine bottle and was about to smash that cheating bitch to death. You should have dumped her long ago. I made a group chat for you. It's filled with the best women in our circle. Take your time looking. My phone suddenly began beeping nonstop. I glanced at it. In less than a minute, more than 30 people had added me. I'm going to the restroom. In the hallway, a woman wore a business suit that looked completely out of place here. Several buttons at her shirt collar were casually undone. Leaning against the wall and smoking, she looked both alluring and dangerous. Perhaps sensing my gaze, she frowned and looked over. Shiyan, what are you doing here? I walked over with a faint smile. Muwan, lend me a cigarette. She arched a brow. Didn't you become Mr. Perfect after getting together with Mengyao? Aren't you afraid she'll find out you're smoking? I said nothing. She leaned closer and said in an incredibly irritating tone, I heard she held a spectacular wedding for another man today. So, did you two break up? I reached straight for the cigarette and lighter. After lighting it skillfully, I slowly exhaled a cloud of smoke and said with an unreadable smile, Wanning, come to my place tonight. Our eyes met. Between adults, that said everything. Wanning pinched out her cigarette and chuckled. Then I remembered she was famous in our circle for avoiding men. I was just about to explain that I was only joking when, to my surprise, she agreed. Wanning unlocked my door with my fingerprint. The next second, she pushed me onto the sofa. Her delicate hands cupped my face, and she kissed me. Of course, I didn't let her take the lead. I turned the tables and deepened the kiss. Shiyan, are you a dog? Bite more gently. I frowned slightly. Shut your little mouth. All you need to do now is enjoy it. For the entire night, I showed Wanning firsthand what happens when you run your mouth. We slept in each other's arms until dawn. But then my phone rang. Unable to open my eyes, I blindly groped across the bed. A soft chuckle came from beside me. Wanning found the phone. When she saw that Mengyao had sent a video, her expression immediately darkened. She handed me the phone. I answered, barely able to open my bleary eyes. Mengyao smiled coldly. Didn't you say yesterday that we would go our separate ways? So how did you manage to go to my mother and badmouthed Song Jingnian in less than a day. Who went to your mother? Are you insane? Why are you acting crazy at my place this early in the morning? The moment I opened my mouth, I froze. My throat was painfully hoarse. Mengyao asked suspiciously, "Do you have a cold?" I chuckled. "Why are you pretending not to understand?" She realized what I meant. Her voice suddenly rose as she leaned closer to the phone. "Where are you? Who are you with?" I was too annoyed to say anything. I simply ended the video call. Back at the bar, Mengyao looked awful. "Susu, Shiyan hung up on you. Could he really be determined to end the engagement? How could that be possible? That's just his usual trick for threatening you. If he truly wanted to end the engagement, could he really bear to do it? He's obviously putting on an act, pretending to be with another woman. He's trying to make you jealous, so you'll be the first to crack and go after him. That trick is so worn out, yet he's still using it." Everyone burst out laughing. Only then did Mengyao's expression improve slightly. The call had chased away much of my drowsiness. I frowned in displeasure. Wanning noticed. What's so great about Mengyao? She was already sleeping around before marriage. She wouldn't stay faithful to you after marriage either. She's not good enough for you. I looked up in confusion. Wanning picked up the cigarette pack on the nightstand, tapped out a cigarette, and lit it. Her expression suddenly turned serious. "If we're talking about a marriage alliance, the Mu family is no weaker than the Su family." Wanning glanced at me. "I know you've always wanted to secure that Eastern District Development project, but winning it on your own won't be easy. If we marry and work together, it'll be much easier." By then, I was completely awake. With the Mu family's resources, you could easily secure it alone. Why share the spoils with me? Maybe I don't want you getting a free ride. The corner of my mouth twitched twice. After thinking for a few seconds, I extended my right hand. "Pleasure doing business with you." 40 minutes later, Wanning and I walked out of the registry, staring at the red marriage certificate in my hand, still feeling dazed and unreal. "Let's go. Are we meeting the client right now?" Wanning reached up and cupped my cheek, laughing in disbelief. "We're going on our honeymoon." After changing into our diving gear, we felt the ocean's mystery and beauty in its azure waters. Beautiful coral and schools of fish within arm's reach. Wanning gestured for me to follow. After diving to a certain depth, I looked up at a starry sky beneath the sea. After we came ashore, a staff member told me my phone had been ringing nonstop. When I checked my phone, dozens of messages popped up. "Hello, Mr. Gu. I'm the manager of DK Bridal. When would you have time to come try on your wedding attire?" "Hello, Mr. Gu. I'm the person in charge of your wedding planning. What kind of flowers does your wife like? We can have them flown in." "Hello, Mr. Gu. You previously ordered a diamond ring from our store. When would you have time to come try it on? We can still adjust the size if necessary. A wedding dress, flowers, and a ring." The more I read, the deeper my frown became. My phone number had been leaked. Just then, my phone rang again. I glanced at the screen. It showed an incoming call from Mengyao. She immediately demanded, "Where have you been? I've called you so many times, and you didn't answer. The company said you'd taken a month off. Where I go is none of your business. Don't forget, we've already broken up." Mengyao didn't care. Instead, she laughed. "Isn't this because I gave Song Jingnian a wedding and you threw a tantrum? I'll hold one for you, too. You must have received the messages and calls. Take a look and choose what kind of wedding you want. Just tell them directly. They'll arrange everything for you." I was speechless. "Are you out of your mind?" Though I couldn't see her expression, I could imagine Mengyao's face when she heard those words. "Shiyan, you're throwing a tantrum over a wedding. I've agreed to make it up to you with a wedding. What more do you want? Haven't you had enough of this tantrum? I'm telling you, this is your only chance. If you don't want to get married, then never get married." Mengyao was always like this. As long as she gave you a way to save face. If you didn't take it right away, it was definitely your fault. "You lunatic. We've already broken up. Stop calling me. Marry whoever you want." Mengyao repeated the word fine 3 times from the other end. "Shiyan, I gave you a chance. You were the one who refused it. Don't regret this." What a lunatic. Wanning changed clothes. Mengyao's call. I took a breath. She thought I was angry because of a wedding. So, she decided to hold one for me, too. How had I ever been blind enough to fall for this woman? Wanning smiled but said nothing. Over the next month, we visited Iceland's mysterious blue ice caves and rode a hot air balloon in Turkey. On the day we returned home, Chen'an asked me out. No matter how hard I scrubbed, I couldn't remove the marks on my neck. So I put on a turtleneck sweatshirt. The moment he sat down, he downed 2 glasses of liquor. I'm furious. Mengyao has completely lost her mind. She rented every electronic billboard in the capital and had a list of celebrities record birthday wishes for that Song Jingnian. She's even having them played on a loop for an entire month. Has she considered your feelings at all? Holding my glass, I said calmly. I'm married. Chen'an didn't believe me at first. Not until he saw the marriage certificate. Isn't Wanning famous for having no interest in men? How did you win her over? That doesn't matter. What matters is that Mengyao can't compare to her at all. I wish I could see her face when she finds out you married Wanning. His anger vanished. Haha. We have to celebrate properly. Dinner is on me tonight. Chen'an couldn't hold his liquor. After a few bottles, he was already dizzy. I set down my glass. You stay right here. I'll go order you some hangover tea. I ran into Cici in the hallway. She eagerly came over. Brother-in-law, you're here. Susu and the others are in private room 6. Mengyao and I are no longer together. Just call me by my name from now on. Have fun. Cici assumed I was still angry. Susu really did go too far that time. Give her a chance to apologize in person. We're in private room 6. I'll head over first. Come by later. Brother-in-law. To return to private room 3, I had to pass private room 6. When I heard a familiar voice, I stood at the door and looked through the gap. Mengyao lounged lazily in Wenjing's arms. Several buttons of her shirt were hanging loose. Song Jingnian's lips were swollen and red. Anyone with eyes could tell what had happened. Susu, I just ran into brother-in-law at the door. I told you he still can't let you go. I didn't expect him to go this long without contacting you. It was only a month. He must have heard that Susu was celebrating another man's birthday and couldn't stand it, so he came. Mengyao looked displeased. Who told him to come? We've already broken up. That's enough. This is the first time Shiyan has gone so long without contacting you. Be careful. This could get out of hand. Exactly. Susu, I think you should make that man leave. Otherwise, brother-in-law might get angry again. Mengyao glanced at the obedient Song Jingnian beside her. He lowered his head. His voice trembled. Ms. Su, today is my birthday. I tugged at my turtleneck sweater and pushed the door open. Everyone turned to look at me. The marks on my neck were far too obvious. Even under the bar's dim lighting, Mengyao still saw them. She shot to her feet. Her eyes narrowed. What's on your neck? I thought of how Wanning had marked me like a little wildcat the night before. I said with a smile, love bites. Mengyao swept the things off the table. The dark fury in her eyes was unmistakable. Shiyan, you really went behind my back to find another woman. Who did it is none of your business. Mengyao, a proper ex should be as good as dead. She sneered. Shiyan, if I ever contact you again, I will be a damn dog. After Chen'an drank his hangover tea, he asked me, why were you gone so long? I almost went looking for you. I heard things smashing in the private room next door. I had something to deal with. Otherwise, flies would keep buzzing around me. That gets annoying. Let's go. We'd both been drinking, so we called a designated driver. Not long afterward, the male college student who had married Mengyao graduated and entered show business. After achieving modest success, he actually paid online trolls to comment under the Gu Group's official account. Ms. Su truly treats Song Jingnian differently. She was willing to hold a lavish wedding for him. And that is not even counting the wedding. Ms. Su gives him luxury cars and expensive watches without batting an eye. I suggest someone part ways gracefully. Stop shamelessly clinging to the title of Ms. Su's fiancé. The one who isn't loved is the real homewrecker. Would it kill you to let Ms. Su and Song Jingnian be together? My assistant handed me the tablet. Mr. Gu, should I delete all the comments manipulating public opinion? Dig up Song Jingnian's dirt and give it to the paparazzi. Then notify every media company partnered with the Gu Group not to give him any opportunities. Yes, Mr. Gu. I'll handle it immediately. What if Ms. Su intervenes? Ignore her. Just finish what I assigned you. An hour later, Song Jingnian's comment section was overrun. You were the other man, sneaking around in the shadows. And that was bad enough. How dare you openly provoke the man whose place you stole? Song Jingnian and I were classmates. On the surface, he looked like the perfect student. In reality, he relied on his wealthy family to lead a campaign of bullying against me at school. My arms are covered in scars he burned into me. So he'd always been this kind of person. I was Song Jingnian's stand-in. On set, apart from scenes where his face had to appear, he made me do everything else. There were dozens of scenes in all. He didn't even film a third of them. For the rest, he either relied on a stand-in or on post-production editing. I was Song Jingnian's assistant. One scene required him to go into the water and retrieve something. He thought the water was too dirty. He insisted that the crew buy bottled water before he would go in. Even assisting a top star had never exhausted me this much. I think Mengyao is the worst of them all. She changes boyfriends every few days. A woman like that should have dropped dead long ago. Susu, you're not answering that young boyfriend's calls. She's practically being torn apart by online commenters. Shiyan is still the same. He always gets even with everyone except you. Mengyao didn't answer. She asked, has Shiyan called any of you these past few days? The others exchanged a glance. No. You're deliberately promoting Song Jingnian, so he can provoke Shiyan. But I think you've miscalculated. News of you and Song Jingnian has spread everywhere. Has Shiyan called you even once? Susu, If you really want to be with Shiyan, just swallow your pride and call him first. You have nothing to lose. But if someone else gets to him first, then let him. If he wants to break up, then let him. I don't need him as my boyfriend. That night, I received a message from Chen'an. Oh, right? I forgot to mention this the other night. Everyone in our circle says Wanning likes women. Would she even sleep with you? I couldn't help laughing when I saw the message. Before I could reply, a trace of cool, alluring fragrance suddenly reached my nose. She likes women? I looked up and met Wanning's half-amused gaze. I'll find out tonight. We'll see whether I really want to. By the time I realized what was happening, I was already pinned to the bed. I don't know if it was because I'd been drinking, but my cheeks felt unusually hot. When desire peaked, I lowered my head and held her even tighter. Outside, rain poured down. Inside, the air was thick with desire. The phone on the nightstand rang relentlessly. After we finished once, Wanning picked it up and glanced at the screen. It's Mengyao. Should I answer? My eyes were bloodshot. I shook my head. Shiyan, she's clinging to you like a leech. It hurts me to see it. Then answer it. Maybe it was my imagination, but I could swear I saw triumph in her eyes. As soon as the call connected, Mengyao's drunken voice came through. Shiyan, I've had too much to drink. Come pick me up. I've been acting this crazy these past few days. So, why haven't you come to deal with me? Wanning gave a soft scoff. It's me. There was silence on the other end for several seconds. Then Mengyao spoke through clenched teeth. Wanning, have you no shame? How dare you be the other woman? We're legally married. You're the one calling my husband in the middle of the night? No way. Her voice suddenly softened. Shiyan, will you come get me? Let's stop fighting. I fought to keep my desire in check. Mengyao, I have made myself perfectly clear. You're nothing but my ex. Wanning arched a satisfied brow. Before she could say another word, she hung up. Meanwhile, at the bar, Mengyao remained frozen in the same position after hanging up. I think Shiyan truly isn't coming back this time. You can't really blame him. Susu, you've gone too far these past few years. Keeping your affairs secret would have been one thing, but every time, you had to make a huge spectacle. Never mind marrying Song Jingmian. You gave the previous young star a ring outright, and the secretary before him became so spoiled that he went straight to the Gu group to cause a scene. If I were Shiyan, I'd have dumped you long ago. I wouldn't have waited until now. Enough. Stop talking. It's over. So let it be over. Besides, you do not even like Shiyan. Mengyao said nothing. She grabbed her car keys and left. No one behind her could catch up. Shiyan, I want to post this to my feed. Wanning was completely different from her usual self. She was damn irresistible. I nodded before I knew what I was doing. Within a minute of posting it, quite a few people in our circle chimed in. Congratulations. You finally got what you wanted. But does Shiyan know you've had your eye on him all these years? Damn. Why does this person look so familiar? Isn't that Miss Su's fiancé? What's going on? Congratulations. Wanning replied to a few comments, then went to shower. I heard urgent knocking downstairs. I pulled the covers over my head and pretended not to hear it, but the knocking only grew louder. Whoever was outside clearly wouldn't stop until I opened the door. I went downstairs wearing only black underwear. I guessed who was knocking. I took the marriage certificate from the cabinet. When I opened the door, the afterglow of our wild night was still evident on my face. Mengyao was drenched by the rain. Shiyan, I won't cause trouble anymore. Let's get back together. At the time, I hadn't thought it through. I only thought it was just a wedding. It wouldn't threaten your position. That's why I agreed. I leaned against the doorframe with a wicked smile. I showed her the marriage certificate in my hand. I'm legally married. We just haven't had the wedding yet. When we hold our wedding, we'll be sure to invite you, Miss Su, to celebrate with us. Wanning came downstairs wrapped in nothing but a towel. She wrapped her arms around my waist. Mengyao raised her hand to slap Wanning. I blocked her and shielded Wanning behind me. Seeing this, Mengyao grew even angrier. I treated you like a sister, and you had your eye on my boyfriend? Wanning seized the opportunity and slapped Mengyao hard in return. Don't you know how much disgraceful crap you've pulled? He put up with you for 5 years. You drove him away, step by step, over those 5 years. As they traded blows and barbs, I kept protecting Wanning. Watching Mengyao grow more disheveled, I picked Wanning up bridal style and carried her inside. Mengyao stood in the rain, her eyes wet. Shiyan, I've had too much to drink. Will you make me a bowl of hangover soup? Wanning told her to get lost. The door slammed shut with a bang. Outside, Mengyao pounded on the door frantically. She buried her face in my chest, her voice muffled. Shiyan, when are we getting married? I want us to make it official. Your engagement ceremony was so grand. I want our wedding to be even grander. I lowered my head and kissed the corner of her lips. All right. The next day, I received a call from Wincisi. Mengyao crashed into a guardrail on her way home last night. The front of the car was completely wrecked. Luckily, she wasn't fatally injured. She's in the hospital now. Shiyan, Could you come see her? She won't eat or drink, and she refuses to cooperate with the doctors or take her medicine. She insists on seeing you. How many numbers do you have? The other person was stunned. Just this one. I hung up and blocked it immediately. When something happens to Su Mengyao, she doesn't call her parents or her current boyfriend. Why call me, her ex-fiancée who's already married? When Cece showed her the phone's black screen. Susu, Shiyan really doesn't want you anymore. He's even blocked my number now. Su Mengyao stared at the chat window with deep, dark eyes. She said nothing. Later, she slipped away from the hospital when no one was around. Recently, I had been busy with the East District Development project. One day, I returned to the apartment to get some documents. To my surprise, I saw Su Mengyao sitting by the flower bed downstairs in the complex. She was still wearing a hospital gown. When she saw me, she approached and called out tentatively. Shiyan, I warily rubbed the space between my eyebrows. What exactly are you trying to do? Perhaps because she was ill. She looked somewhat frail. Wanning did it deliberately. She's had her eye on you for a long time. She wanted us to break up so she could take advantage of the situation. Do you remember how someone slipped a love letter into your school bag? You were furious about it. That person was Wanning. What? Wanning was unbelievably aloof back in school. Everyone only dared to whisper about her behind her back. No one dared approach her for her contact information. The love letter in my school bag was actually put there by Wanning. She was jealous that you and I were engaged. So, she deliberately set me up. So, you're saying she forced you to date those young male celebrities and college students? Did she force you to hold a wedding? Too? Su Mengyao lowered her eyes and avoided the question. Shiyan, I got caught in the rain last night and developed a fever. I feel terrible. Can I go upstairs and have a glass of water? No, I'm married now. I took out my phone and called Mrs. Su. All right, I'll be right there. When she arrived, she slapped her, furious and disappointed. Why are you still here humiliating yourself? Look at all the things you've done. I'm too ashamed to face Shiyan's parents anymore. Now hurry up and leave. Mrs. Su, I have several important meetings shortly. I'll be going, then. All right, go take care of your business. I'll get this foolish girl out of here. I nodded politely and turned to leave. But when I returned, Su Mengyao was still sitting there. She was wearing a thin hospital gown. Everyone passing by couldn't help staring. She ignored them all and simply stared at the entrance to the complex. When she saw my car drive in, she immediately stood up. I took a deep breath, unwilling to deal with her. But she stopped me as I walked forward. She took out the brocade box I had returned. I never intended to give this jade pendant to anyone else. Could you take it back? I smiled. I opened my phone and found a photo. It was a selfie Song Jingmian had posted while wearing the pendant. Su Mengyao hurried to explain. It was the day you left. He said he wanted to see it, so I let him have it. He only tried it on for a moment. I didn't want to waste my breath on her. I shook off her hand and went upstairs. When Wanning returned, I saw the two of them exchange a few words from upstairs. The next second, they began arguing. I hurried downstairs. Wanning, how are you any better than me? Do you dare tell Shiyan everything you've done? My cheating was partly your doing, wasn't it? That East District project was nothing but a trap you set for him. Fuck your partnership. Shiyan, don't let her fool you. Wanning glanced at me nervously. I took her hand and laced our fingers together. Then I handed Su Mengyao the wedding candy in my hand. The 8th of next month is the day Wanning and I are getting married. You're welcome to come celebrate with us. Back in our room, Wanning was still distracted. It was the first time I'd ever seen her like this. She explained. Some of what Su Mengyao said was true. I knew you wanted that East District project, so I deliberately used it as an excuse to marry you. As for her cheating, I also signaled the manager at a drinking party to bring the kind of young men she liked over to her. I'm not as good as you think I am. I'm very good at manipulating people. I know exactly what kind of person Su Mengyao is. Even without you, she would have grown bored soon after the wedding and suggested that we live separate lives. Wanning froze. You don't blame me. I chuckled softly. Of course not. I also married you only after careful consideration. Only immature boys think about nothing but love. I watched the tension gradually leave Wanning. Construction on the East District project began smoothly. Preparations for Wanning's and my wedding were also underway. That day, I was debating whether to use only chocolates as wedding favors or mix in different kinds of candy. A notification popped up. Your friend is live. Puzzled, I tapped it. Su Mengyao was kneeling miserably on the ground. The fabric at her knees was visibly torn. She advanced, dropping to her knees with every step. Shiyan, I'm sorry. Su Mengyao apologized with every kneeling step. I remembered when we had just started dating. She had said, if I ever betrayed you, I'd make my way to Wulao Mountain, kneeling at every step. Seeing such a deranged spectacle, I remained silent for a full minute. Then I quickly took out my phone and called her. Su Mengyao didn't answer. The Livestream comments flew across the screen. After all, Chances to watch the president of the Sioux group make a fool of herself were rare. I watched the woman on the video reject my call. Kneeling her way up Wulao Mountain would take at least a full day and night. More importantly, it was unbelievably humiliating. She kept saying, "I'm sorry, Shiyan." When Cece called, "Shiyan, although Su wronged you, she still has a fever and hasn't recovered. Please, take pity on her. Could you give her a call? If you have time to call me. Take a few people there, knock her out, and bring her back to the hospital." Mengyao continued, kneeling with every step. She ignored everyone's stares, answered no one's calls, and listened to nobody's advice. Even when Cece and the others could do nothing when they arrived, they could only let her continue. Mengyao didn't reach the summit until the following evening. She passed out from exhaustion and was carried down by doctors. When I received Mrs. Su's call, I was finalizing the wedding details with my mother. "Shiyan, I'm truly too ashamed to come to you, but Mengyao wants to see you right now. Nothing any of us say will get through to her." My mother gestured for me to hand her the phone. "Young man, my son is getting married. It probably wouldn't be appropriate for him to visit your daughter. How about this? I'll send my daughter-in-law over. They already know each other, and they're good friends. Maybe she'll get through to her." Mrs. Su sighed. "Sigh, if that girl Wanning comes, she'll probably upset Mengyao even more." "Let's forget it. She won't. As the old saying goes, fight poison with poison. Then it's settled. I'll send Wanning over shortly." At the hospital, I waited outside the ward. When Mengyao saw Wanning, the two women seemed like sworn enemies meeting face to face, their hatred blazing. "Wanning, I never thought I'd be manipulated by you. From the very first male celebrity, I stepped straight into the trap you laid and could never escape. You couldn't even keep your own backyard under control. Who can you blame? That was because you manipulated everything. Without your schemes, Shiyan and I would never have come this far." The gardenias outside were blooming. I went outside for a walk and didn't hear the rest of their conversation. I had no idea what Wanning said to her. Over the next few days, Mengyao didn't appear before me again. Song Jingnian, however, came to see me several times. "Mr. Gu, could I talk to you?" He kept his head lowered as he spoke. His voice was very quiet. It was hard to connect him with the man who had paid a troll army to attack me in the comments under the company's official account. Song Jingnian kept his head down and remained silent for a long time. Just as I was about to give up and leave, he finally spoke. "Mengyao is pregnant." I took a sip of coffee before responding. "Mr. Gu, what brings you to me? The child she's carrying isn't mine, is it?" Song Jingnian looked up in stunned disbelief. "The child is mine, but she doesn't want this child. Could you please talk some sense into her? I can give up everything. I can even return everything she ever gave me, as long as she'll give birth to this child from me." "Mr. Song, you've come to the wrong person. As her former fiancé, I have no reason to approach her about this. Besides, you don't need to put on this act in front of me. Which matters more to you? The child or all the things Mengyao gave you? Clearly, you already know the answer." Song Jingnian suddenly dropped to his knees. "But right now, you're all she can think about. If you weren't in the picture, she might have given birth to this child from me. All her friends say I'm the exception. I'm the only one who could get her to marry me, aren't I? She even gave me a ring once. That proves she once considered marrying me." Mengyao has made far too many people feel like exceptions. Quite a few people have been treated as special by her. "Mr. Song, aside from your properties being worth a little money, if I remember correctly, the wedding ring was given to many people exactly the same as yours." Song Jingnian couldn't believe it. "Impossible. You're lying to me. Everyone says I've stayed by her side longer than anyone else. You must be lying to me. Did Mengyao ever promise that this ring was meant only for you?" Song Jingnian opened his mouth, but found he had no way to argue back. "See, she isn't even willing to humor you." Song Jingnian tried to say something else, but I cut him off. "Mr. Song, I hope you won't show your face in front of me again. And don't come looking for me at the company again. We really aren't acquainted." Assistant Kiao, show him out. "Mr. Gu, don't listen to Song Jingnian's nonsense. President Su isn't pregnant at all. A friend told me that ever since the company shelved him, he's been doing everything he can to get the company to sign him again. As for what methods he used, you can probably guess without my telling you." I looked up at little Kiao. "Keep following up on the East District project. As for anything unimportant, don't bother reporting it to me." The weather was beautiful on our wedding day. All our friends from the social circle attended. "Congratulations. I thought you were going to marry Mengyao. I never expected this. Today is Wanning's wedding day. What nonsense are you spouting at a time like this? Wanning is far superior to that Mengyao." Lu Cheng'an had disliked Mengyao for a long time. At a wedding like this, he especially didn't want to hear anyone mention her name. Sorry. My mouth got ahead of me. I smiled and didn't take it to heart. "Go take your seat. The wedding is about to begin." The venue was decorated in a traditional Chinese style. Grand and solemn. After the ceremony, when Cece gave me the Buddhist prayer beads Mengyao had obtained from Wulao Mountain, Susu now regrets it more than anything. If she could do it all over again, she says she'd cherish you properly. When Cece continued talking incessantly, without noticing Wanning's displeased expression, smiling, I separated the two of them. After a long, busy day, Wanning laid down on the bed as soon as we got home. I helped her undress. In the bathroom, I pressed Wanning against the bathroom wall. Steam clouded both our eyes. I wrapped an arm around her waist. Before she could collect herself, kiss after kiss landed on